What's up?
Hi guys, thanks for watching this episode. We are on tour right now. It's the Barely a Tour tour. 3 dates. We're playing Portland on June 19th.
Joining us for the California dates is our new favorite band, OCT. Santa Barbara, June 27th.
Day after that, June 28th, Santa Ana. Tickets on sale right now, wolvesofglendale.com.
See ya.
Bye.
Guys, welcome.
All right.
Coming out the gate.
Coming out the
Yeah.
gate hot.
Yeah, it's called a podcast, not a fucking snooze fest.
Yo!
Nice, dude. Yeah, if you're trying to tune in for the snooze fest, you've reached the wrong place.
Yeah, it's Wolves of Glendale, the podcast.
I got a
I got a pitch.
Go ahead.
We
please.
start a music festival.
Yep.
Called Snooze Fest.
Oh.
But we only book very mellow, vibey artists
Yeah.
and maybe some meditation,
Some sound bath.
some sound bath artists.
Yep.
Yeah. Main stage, as big as Lollapalooza.
Snora Jones.
Snora Jones.
Well, this is on the snooze stage.
This is snooze stage.
Right. Is that Nora Jones or is it an
No.
artist called
Right.
Snora Jones?
She looks kind of like Nora Jones, but she plays essentially Nora Jones songs, but like three
Even
times slower.
Right. Wait until I saw the sun.
Exactly.
Don't
Right.
know.
Yeah.
She yawns a lot in
Yeah.
between lyric, and the music festival. Like normally, you would like bring drugs or like bring snack. You know,
This is when you bring like Ambien,
yeah,
you
you bring
bring
Ambien,
Ambien,
you bring a
NyQuil.
sleeping bag,
melatonin.
pillows,
Also on the main stage, Slip Nodding Off.
slip nodding off.
Very good.
Yep. Can we
Well-
hear what that sounds like?
Who else? Yeah, that's I push my fingers into
You know who else
And
is
then it's that
headlining?
for 45 minutes.
who else is playing?
REM.
Oh, very nice. Yep.
Really
Very
good.
good.
What's
Yeah.
one of REM's hits?
Trying to
Night
think
night
of-
sleeping.
Yeah, night sleeping.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Night sleeping.
Also slip nap.
Slip Nap is
Slip
also
Nap.
there, which is
There's
confusing.
two different Slipknot sleep-themed
Right.
cover bands.
Slip nodding
Well,
off.
Slip Nodding
Yeah.
Off does Slipknot self-titled in Iowa,
Right.
and Slip Nap does from Volume 3 on.
Correct.
And at 4 p.m., we're going to show Notting Hill.
Right. Just
Right.
The
The
film.
film Notting Hill, but it'll just be spelled with D's instead of T's.
Yeah.
We could get it sponsored by
Hugh
Casper and
Oh, yeah.
what, who?
Hugh Grant.
Yeah, it'll be sponsored by Hugh Grant.
Yeah. He hosts.
I mean, he's a very mellifluous, sort of snoozy sort of speaker.
Yeah.
Very good point.
Oh, hello. Welcome to the Snooze Fest.
Maybe he
Oh, great.
hosts the main stage.
I think he does.
Yes.
Please welcome Slip Notting
But it
Off.
might be too exciting to see him, so maybe he hosts from backstage, and we just show like
Voice of God.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
like visualizer
Like a-
stuff
yeah,
of
visualizer,
the
right.
universe. Now,
Ooh,
are
ooh.
we here to talk about our sleep festival, or are
We
we
could
here
be.
to listen to voicemails?
Lollapalooza?
Lollapalooza is good.
Lollapalooza is a whole different festival. Warped Snore?
Warp Snore.
Okay.
I like. Very nice.
Maybe who else is playing Warp Snore?
Warp Snore. Maybe who else is playing Warp Snore?
Real Big Sheep?
Oh,
like
Real Big
Sheep.
Sheep? Yeah,
Real
really
Big Sheep.
good. Really good.
I like Real Big Sheep.
How about
Let's take some voicemails,
yeah, okay,
huh?
let's
I
play
think-
the first voicemail.
But if anyone thinks of them,
Yeah,
we
but,
can keep them
yeah.
coming.
But since this is episode 2, we asked you to send in your craziest stories because we have songs that feature crazy stories.
Yes,
Right.
that's why we're
So
here.
That's why we're here.
We are Wolves of Glendale
The most popular comedy band in Glendale.
in Glendale.
That's right.
California.
And this is Wolves of Glendale, the podcast, episode 2, Warp Snore.
So this isn't really, it wasn't my craziest story, but it is one I love to tell about my mom. She's always late for the airport. She's running behind. She's throwing her stuff in the car and getting out and running through TSA just as fast as she can. So she was doing that, and her purse got pulled. She was like, I gotta have, there's lotion in there or something. I left something I'm not supposed to, it's over the amount of ounces. And so she's like, hey, it's okay. You can just throw it away. Don't worry about it. Like, I just gotta go, no worries. And the guy turns around and he goes, you didn't look much like a fighter. And she goes, well, I'm not really, which first of all, I don't know why we're lying. She goes, well, I'm not really. And then he turns around and shows her the gold brass knuckles, the yellow gold brass knuckles that say King across the front in red that were in her purse. He turns around with them like, well, then what are these? And she goes, oh, I do have those. So, I mean, she works in a hospital and sometimes people will just give her things whenever she, takes care of them. And that was a gift. And she's like, they are cool. I did like them. So I just kept them. But yeah, the most disappointed she was that she couldn't keep them. She's like, I hope the guy that took them got to keep them at least because they're pretty cool. So it just cracks me up every time. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Didn't say her name. That's all right.
That's awesome.
About the name thing, I don't think we ever asked them to say
No,
their names.
we didn't.
No.
I asked in the first episode, which no one has seen, and that's fine.
Right.
But from now on,
Right.
I'd love to know people's names. That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
Right.
that's fair.
A great story. I think maybe we could get in contact with this person and see if we could send them somehow
New brass knuckles.
New brass knuckles that say King?
Let's say
in red.
King.
Do you think that we could probably get custom brass knuckles printed?
Oh, easy.
somewhere?
Oh, definitely.
I got you.
Okay.
Eric knows
you
a
got
guy.
a guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you do love your knuckles, man.
I do love my knuckles.
Yeah.
I'm a knuckles guy.
You're
He's
a knucklehead.
all knuckles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that is
That's
awesome.
really cool.
Also, I'm trying to think about the person that would gift a pair of gold brass knuckles that say King on
Yeah,
them.
it's a
I
weird
want to
gift.
be
Someone's
that.
at the hospital.
Yes.
Okay, think about it from the point of view of the patient.
Yeah.
Goes, I'm in the hospital for some reason. Maybe that has to do with brass knuckles.
Yep.
You give the brass knuckles that say King to your nurse
Yeah,
as a gift for saving your life.
Must be a good nurse.
must be a good nurse.
Your mom is probably an amazing woman and an exceptional nurse.
Yeah.
And this guy is either trying to get rid of evidence because maybe he murdered someone
That's
Here's
a
a
good
question
point.
that I have.
and planted the evidence on your mom, which is kind of fucked.
Could
Right.
be for the best that your mom got rid of that.
Yeah.
Was there blood on the knuckles?
If it says King, I can guarantee it.
Probably.
There was at some point.
Maybe the letters were read from blood.
Yeah,
Oh,
or
King.
symbolically saying like, "There's been blood here, and there will be blood again."
They
Right.
belong to the Blood King.
Whoa.
The blood. Okay.
Here's
so
something.
the patient
Yeah.
at the hospital is on the run from the Blood King.
Right.
Oh.
Or
Or
you're
they
saying-
are the
Or
blood.
they are the
Blood
Blood King.
King.
I was going to say, maybe the Blood King, I mean, definitely the Blood King gets into a lot of scrappy situations.
This is True Detective season 4. The Rise
Blood
of the
King.
Blood King.
Does the Blood King also drink blood? Is there a reason?
No, he causes blood.
yeah, I'd
Well,
say he,
of course
he, like,
causes blood.
he
but
brings blood into the world.
But if he's the
Right.
Blood King, I'm saying maybe he has a different
He
relationship
probably has.
with blood.
He
Sips
has
blood.
blood. I assume he's a human being.
Well, he has blood, but I'm saying maybe he has. I could see him sitting with like a big steak and a cup of blood. Mm-hmm. And he either dips
Is
it
he
in
a
blood.
supernatural being? Or no, he's just a
No, I
fucked
think
up
he's a
guy.
guy.
who just
Fucked
loves-
up psycho.
He's a guy. He's a fucked up psycho guy.
Fuck up psycho guy who drinks blood in a cup.
And
Yes.
beats the shit out of people.
Right, and he goes, bish. Oop. Tries to catch the blood in the
So
cup.
he
and
can
then
dip
goes,
his
take a
steak later.
swig.
I would say, he brings a cup with him to save the blood.
Right.
Or
Gold
he
cup.
just kills people and then drains their
But
bodies.
why would the Blood King go to the hospital?
I mean, you're the Blood King. You're trying
You're
to
in a
knock
pinch.
people out.
Something
to,
tells me you got a guy that comes over and addresses your wounds and stuff.
I
Like
will
if you're the
say,
Blood
though,
King, you're not waiting in line at the ER.
Some criminals like to push the envelope and see how much
They
they
want
can
to
get
get
away
caught.
with.
Serial
Exactly.
killers want to get caught.
So he's
Right.
like, watch this. I'm
part of the rush.
I'm gonna walk in the front
Blood
door.
King. I'm gonna walk into the hospital.
No one's gonna know it's me. I'm even gonna give a pair of brass knuckles with
my
the word
nurse.
King on it.
Yep.
To somebody at this hospital, and no one's gonna touch me. I'm the Blood King.
Do you think the
He's the
left
fucking Blood
hand
King.
or the right hand, whichever one she has, says blood? And
Yes.
says Blood King.
I'm
and
sure
so
of
when
it.
you
Which way would
when
you
you
read
get
it?
punched,
This would be blood. This would be King, right?
right?
Yeah.
So right left.
So it's a lefty.
So
it's
when you
Let
get
us know. Actually, write in and let us know if it
right.
was a left-handed.
So when you
I think
get
it was this.
blood taken
King.
out of you, there's a mark that says this was the Blood King was here.
yes.
Well, then the letters would have to be backwards on the knuckle, though, right?
Dulb
so it says
Gnick.
Dulb
Dulb Clinic.
King.
Right.
King.
King.
Yeah. Either way, I am not going to be able to probably record other episodes of the podcast.
Why?
Because
Why
I'm
is
going to
that?
be busy developing the Blood King.
The Blood King.
It's an
Right.
HBO
True
limited
Detective
series.
season 4, Rise
let's
of the
think about
Blood
this.
King.
In the limited series on HBO, who's playing the Blood King? Who do we cast as the
I
Blood
got to
King?
go with me.
You
Okay.
you are the Blood King?
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to say
I-
I'm perfect for the role. Me.
Okay,
Okay,
if
interesting.
I'm directing Rise of the Blood King, which I would like
Which
to,
you could.
I would like
Okay,
to pitch
great.
myself
Yeah.
as the director.
Sure, yeah, you're
as a
directing
lover
it.
of
You
horror.
direct all
You're in
6 episodes.
consideration. Yeah.
I'm-
Yeah.
My name's being tossed around
Yeah.
right now.
People are
talking
talking.
about it.
I
We're
do
talking
think
about
I would have you audition, unfortunately.
That's fine.
Because I do trust you as the Blood King. But
Thank you.
I feel
give
like
off that vibe. I think we can all.
I also feel like a Giovanni Ribisi would be good as the Blood
well,
King as
he's
well.
a cinematographer now. So he can
He
DP.
doesn't act anymore?
He mostly DPs now.
I know he DP'd the movie that we all saw together.
And have you seen
Strange
him in a
Darling? It was
movie
incredible.
since
That
then?
was really good.
That movie rocked.
That movie ruled. We saw that in the UK, didn't we?
I love Strange
Liverpool.
Darling.
Yep.
I say
Liverpool,
we
yeah.
and listen. I'm just trying to get us on the fast track here to
To
production.
make
Yeah,
blood
Let's
kings.
attach Giovanni Ribisi as cinematographer
Okay.
of True Detective season whatever, Rise
Season
of the
four.
Season
Blood King.
4, Rise of the Blood King.
By the way, does it have to be True Detective? Because then we might have to involve their creator or whatever. I feel like we can just.
Nick Palazzo?
Yeah.
I think this should be a standalone limited series.
I agree.
And Paul Dano
Okay.
should be in it in some capacity.
Yep.
Paul Dano.
Should be like the good detective. Like
Yeah.
he's actually trying to figure out
So
who
there's
the
a
Blood King
detective
is.
in it.
Sure.
Yeah, let's call it Real Detective.
Okay. Real Detective,
Detective,
Rise of the Blood King.
Real Detective Season 1, Rise of the Blood King.
Eric's
Right.
directing.
Okay.
Giovanni Ribisi is the
Starring Ethan.
director of photography.
You are the Blood King
I
in
am,
this episode.
Well, we shouldn't.
Are you
give
the
that-
Blood King or are you the detective?
I'm the Blood King, but that it's not revealed till like the last episode.
So Paul Dano's the
So
detective.
you don't even know really
Paul
who I
Dano
am.
is trying to hunt you down.
Who's
Yes.
Paul Dano's partner, who's a nutcase, by the way.
That's Tom Wildcard.
Just like Tom, just like True Detective.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm the wild card chain smoking partner of Paul Dano.
yeah,
who-
and you
who-
should be a drunk and have like a fucked up past, and you're gonna have to like commit for this role to like
Yeah.
you don't eat.
I
for
need
a
you to
month
lose
or,
like
Yeah.
30
Okay,
pounds.
so I'm
Yeah.
going
By the way,
McConaughey season
as
1.
director,
Yes.
you gotta lose 30 pounds.
Yes,
That's totally fine. And it's
I
just
would-
as director, right?
Well, I
What?
wouldn't because
Not
I don't
as my
want you
friend?
to do that. I think
No.
you could do it right now, but Eric
I think
has
you
a
look great
vision
as your friend.
and I
Right.
trust him with that vision.
Totally. And if you're directing and you want me to drop 30 pounds and start smoking,
Yeah.
and I will.
I need you to do the machinist diet.
Yeah.
Well,
Which
it's
is
the
an
Rise of the
apple
Blood
and a
King.
cigarette a day.
Tell you what, if Dano signs on, I'll do whatever you want.
He's on.
Oh, Dano's in.
Dano's
on.
in?
Dude, as soon as we tell him that Ribisi is cinematographer, he's gonna be in.
Okay.
The
So-
Rabis?
Also, let me put yourself in fucking Dano's shoes.
Yeah.
You get an email that says Wolves of Glendale, the podcast, is making
A
Real
movie.
Detective Rise of
Season
the Blood
1, Rise
King.
of the Blood King.
You in?
Starring Ethan Edinburgh, directed by Eric Jackowitz.
By your friend Eric.
And also starring Tom McGovern as your partner who takes down the Blood King.
Yeah,
Right.
as super rail thin, fucked
Right.
up cigarette
Super,
smoking guy.
really smelly, bloodshot
Yeah.
eyes, toothless, disgusting
dude.
Tom McGovern.
Yeah. You tell me you wouldn't see that?
You're not going in?
Should we cut this episode now and start working, or
Well, we should at least finish the ep, but
Yeah, yeah.
then we should get into it. We
Right.
should get all this crap out of here and like
And start writing.
You know, breaking
and I'll
story.
stop eating and start smoking?
Yes. Thank you, bro.
Great.
Next voicemail.
Next voicemail.
Hey, Wolves. Big fan. Been following you a while. I'm going to try to keep this story brief.
Thank you.
I'm an
Thank you.
educator, so I'd like to stay anonymous, but let's say my first name is Lewis. So I was in high school,
Got a name.
and I was a big weed head, rural Pennsylvania. And there had always been a rumor among my group of friends that there was a weed farm. Now, this is 2006 and 5, so weed was like still highly illegal, not really common. You couldn't get it anywhere like you can now. There's a rumor that in the cornfields near us, there was someone that grew a lot of it. And it was always a rumor for years. And I was like, no, it's not. And so one night, my friends and I went to find it. We just went to the area where we heard it was. And we got out of my car and started walking around. And we smelled it. It was strong. So we followed our noses literally. And we saw there was bear traps or spotlights. It was something out of Pineapple Express. It was just really like a legit operation from some weirdo in a trailer. Anyways, I am the getaway driver. We get there. My buddies go out all black the next night and are, avoiding literal deaths from bear traps and alarms and all kinds. And I just see these giant little bushes jingling up and down through the cornfield, and they have branches on branches on branches. Stuff them into my trunk, get back. We are having the craziest night of our life. We can't believe it. It is soaking wet marijuana because it rained the night before. But we were in the house just freaking out that we got this. It was like a gold mine. We jarred it up. Next morning, long story shorter, it was useless. We put it in a jar because we didn't know better because we were silly teenagers, and it molded. The weed was mold and gross. The next day, it smelled horrible. It was useless. You couldn't smoke it. You couldn't do anything with it. So that's the story. There's more detail to it. The drive back from the place to the home was the scariest moment of my life, the craziest moment of my life, because I've got, I don't know how much weed plants in my trunk in 2005. I could go to jail forever. I'm just a teenage kid. So, 570 is my number. I just saw this on your thing. I don't know what you're going to use my story for. I hope you
We're
use
not
it, 'cause
gonna
I'm a big
call
fan.
you.
Bye.
Call you my man.
Why would you leave your number?
We will bleep that out, but that's a funny move.
Yeah, it was
My
really
full
good.
name is blank, and my social security number
Yeah.
is.
Well, he didn't even. I think he said you can call me Lewis, as if to say like I'm not going to say my name, but here's
Right.
my cell phone number.
Right.
It's
Did
pretty
he want us to
strange.
call him back?
Let's call him.
Maybe he doesn't know what we were asking for.
Yeah, I mean, we barely
That would be
know.
really funny if we called him.
That's why we do the podcast.
Yep.
That is a good, crazy story.
Great story.
In
Yep.
2005, weed is super illegal, and you're risking your own life for a
get
little
high.
toke.
Yep.
For a little tokey monster.
Yeah. For a little bit of that
Toki Monster.
wacky
Yeah,
tobacco.
remember her?
I like that.
Toki
No.
Monster?
Who's Toki Monster?
She was like a DJ sort of gal.
Is this real?
Yeah.
I have no idea who that is.
Never heard of Toki Monster.
You know Toki Monster.
How do you spell it?
Toki Monster.
All right.
With an A at the
M-O-N-S-T-A.
end?
Yeah.
Gonna have to
I
check
think maybe
her out.
2 A's.
She sounds cool.
She is cool. I think you would specifically like her.
Toki Monster, I'm gonna
Yeah.
check you out after this pod. I'm very interested.
But, I mean, risking your life for weed.
Yeah.
In 2005, bear traps, and you go, let's just go?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and
nuts.
it's very ballsy. I commend you for the giant pelotas, and I like how there was a karmic end to the story because he shouldn't have stolen the weed,
Right.
and then
The
it's
universe
useless.
bit him.
And
He bit
that
him.
is because
Right.
it was wet and they jarred it. If
Correct.
he dried it or left it out to dry, it would have been fine.
Yeah, but you're 16. You're not thinking about the repercussions of jarring something
Yeah,
wet.
you don't
Of course.
know.
Yeah.
I just don't know how it works.
No.
even.
Did you have any friends that grew weed? Like in their closet or something?
No, I mean,
I didn't.
No, I feel like maybe we knew somebody in college that tried it, but it didn't work or something.
I had friends that smoked a
tracks.
lot of weed, but we didn't grow any weed. You guys smoked a lot of weed?
Together.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
together.
Yeah.
When was the first time that you guys smoked weed together?
Eric,
That's a great question.
do you remember this?
It
must have
wasn't
been
it wasn't in
Boston.
high school.
Yeah, Boston probably.
Boston.
But what do you remember the circumstance? Probably
I
a
think
party.
it was probably at the Alston
Fordham
house.
party.
Fordham.
I lived
Fordham.
on Fordham Street, and there was
Fordham Road.
there was 3 floors of all Berkeley kids. It was me and 2 guys on the bottom floor, and then 3 Berkeley kids middle floor, 3 Berkeley kids top floor.
Yeah.
And of
8
course
total people in the apartment?
9, 333.
Yeah, I
And-
lived in a similar place.
Oh, okay. You also live there.
Keep going. I lived in the
Now that I
same
think
floor.
about it.
Yeah, I was on the first floor, but keep going.
No, my point is just that we would have parties and everybody would get very messed up.
Yep.
And act like freaking fools. And I'm sure that was maybe one of the first times that we
100%.
did that.
I also lived in a 3-story house in Philly on Montgomery. 3 people, first floor, 3 second, 3 third.
All in your college? Like people that you knew?
Yeah,
or-
all people that went to Temple. I think I was, but we used to have the theater parties at this house, and we used to love themes. So one time
theater
we had
parties. Am I right?
Theme
Dude,
party.
themed parties.
Theme theater
and
parties.
dude, the
boy.
parties, and maybe this is in retrospect, I thought it was cool as fuck, but they were stacked out. And it's largely because the people that lived on the first floor were cool musicians that knew how to throw a keg party. Basement, dirt floor. I had the apartment described to me by a friend as every floor was like the basement. That's how gross it was.
Right.
Nice.
But we had a Nigel Thornberry party where you
From
could
the
get
Wild Thornberry.
you could get in for free if you brought a picture printed out of Nigel Thornberry.
You
Otherwise,
charge other people to
I,
get
oh,
in?
$5
remember
bucks
in
for a
college
cup.
people would charge $5 to go to a party.
Oh,
$5
because
at
of
the
beer
door.
costs?
Yeah.
$5 bucks for a cup, or if you brought a printed picture of Nigel Thornberry. And so we had at the end of the night, the wall was full of like 100 pictures of Nigel Thornberry.
Right.
And then for the centennial
pretty sick.
party, you had to bring 100 count of something to get in for free.
100 counts.
Some people brought a bag of 100 pennies. Some people slapped someone in the face 100 times at the door to get in.
I feel like if I was invited to that party in college, I'd be like, fucking what?
Yeah, I would just
No
show up
way.
and go, hey, I got 100 ways to say,
Yeah,
fuck
fuck
off,
you,
let me into
pal.
the party.
Yeah, let me in. I'm
Yeah,
the
it was
coolest
fun.
guy here.
It's really gross. I'm the coolest guy here. Let me
I'll
in.
let
I'll
me
be
in. I'm the
automatically the
coolest guy
for
here.
not doing the
Yeah, I'm
theme.
not doing this.
We're not doing the theme.
But,
We love
yeah,
the themes. Maybe because I was in theater school. But the whole house was into it. The
that
whole house
tracks.
loved it.
I don't think we
No.
had a theme party once.
No, not once, but it sounds fun.
But it
It's
was
very
definitely like interesting at Berkeley to like, because being a musician is like sort of the thing that makes you stand out amongst other people at different parties, at other college parties. But at Berkeley, everyone's a musician, so no one had any edge whatsoever for being a musician.
Every Berkeley party that I went to, we ended up in a living room, people jamming,
Yeah.
and it was just a dick measuring contest.
Yeah,
dude.
I hated
It
that.
was just like everyone, like all the singers were all riffing,
Yeah.
the guitar players were all soloing.
I will say,
keyboard
you would
players.
not find us, even in
No.
our young age, you would not find us at any of those
Yeah.
parties. That
No,
would
but
never
we
happen.
were definitely at a few of those that we would leave early.
Yes. As soon as that
but
started
it was.
happening.
I mean, this is also the era of John Mayer, like being at the height of his powers in 2008.
totally.
He wasn't the mayor.
2009.
He was the king.
He was. I'll tell you that much. So, it was a lot of guys wearing like desert boots.
Yeah.
With jeans and like a big sweater, sort of like how I'm wearing right now, and them just going with it's like the rise of the acoustic guitar guy.
So it wasn't like jam band era. It was like singer-songwriter.
Correct.
emotional guy.
Definitely. Hey,
Yes.
I wanted to say before we move on, thank you to Lewis for leaving that voicemail. It was the first voicemail with somebody's name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is great.
It's also the name of one of your cats.
It is the name of one of my cats, depending how this person spells it and if it's their real name.
And named after Lewis Hamilton, the F1 driver, which I didn't know you were such a big F1 guy.
Yeah,
Sure.
I love engines and the whole thing.
Going fast and
Tires.
vroom, vroom.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
Brad Pitt coming out with
I
a
know.
new F1 movie.
I know.
See the poster? It's just him in a tight shirt.
Didn't
I
know
saw
about
the trailer. Looked very good.
Haven't seen the trailer, but
Yeah.
the poster's hot.
This. Is there a part of the trailer where somebody goes, "You gotta slow down"?
Slow down.
Could have been you,
Or
man.
no.
Well, I don't think.
It should have been.
I don't
Yeah.
think that would happen in F1 because
Yeah, I
you
feel like
kind of
it's-
want to go really
it is about
fast.
going
Oh,
fast.
okay.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't go.
If anything, it would be faster.
You're not going fast
Go
enough.
fast so
piece
you
of shit.
win.
Right.
You need to win, you piece of shit.
You fucker.
You fucked me.
Yeah.
You fuck me.
God damn it! How can you come in second? I'm Brad Pitt.
You went too slow near the end.
I love all three of our Brad Pitt impressions.
Yeah.
Yeah. That,
Do your best Brad Pitt right now.
You fuck me.
You go.
It's hard to
It's
top.
like he's
so
like he's
perfect.
It's
here.
like he's in
It's
the
like
room.
he's here. Now
It's like
you
he's
go.
here.
I'm Brad Pitt. I go fast. Fuck you.
All right,
Really good.
here's mine. I'm Brad fucking Pitt. I gotta go fast.
Yeah.
All really good.
Really, really.
Really good.
Really
It's
good.
hard to.
You can look forward to more impressions like this.
I think it's a
'cause
tie.
We're kind of natural mimics.
We're all
Yeah.
strong impressionists.
Yeah.
I gotta keep my fucking hands on the wheel.
I can't go any faster.
You fuck me.
Oh, quicker with the pit stop.
Brad Pitt
Brad
stop.
Pitt, stop.
Whoa.
Hello.
Ding, ding, ding.
Hello.
Holy shit. Next
Wait a
voicemail.
minute. Next voicemail.
This is Mike McKee from the band Delta Ray, and
Love Delta
big
Ray.
Wolf fan from the Wolves Den, the lair. Anyway, we were on the road going from LA to San Francisco, and a light showed up. It was about 3 a.m. I was driving. Everybody was asleep except for my co-pilot. Light up in the sky, just boom, lit up, and then it turned into 3 lights, and then it dove down to the ground. And we were like, what the hell is this? Are we seeing things? And then it started charging at us at full speed. And I had to make a decision. Do I quickly turn the car and roll in the desert, like roll the van to avoid this thing, which we will get hurt, but we won't die? Or do I risk it and just keep going? And then the thing eventually went right in front of us, blindingly bright lights.
Dude.
Screaming, we woke everybody up in the van, and it silently went above us, and then all the lights went out. And then I started going fast again, and then it, something, whatever it was, lit up in the sky again, way up in the sky, all 3 lights. Then it dove down behind us, started charging us from behind, and I went as fast as I possibly could. This was in Los Banos, California. Likely, it was a military drone, and some guys were just fucking with us.
Whoa.
But we almost died, and it was absolutely terrifying. I was shaking like a tree. And then we just, I never saw the thing again. It just disappeared. Goodbye.
Whoa.
Oh
Whoa.
my God.
Okay. I got a
Good story.
couple things off the bat. Number one,
Yeah.
I love that in episode 1, we mainly got caca on the pants stories.
Exclusive pants ripping
Yeah.
and shitting.
And
And
now
pooping.
it feels like we've moved on.
I know.
We've evolved to some alien,
Actually, sci-fi crazy shit.
Yes.
sci-fi level shit already.
love
Episode 2,
this.
because I was genuinely afraid we would get a lot of caca stories.
I mean,
Yeah.
it
And we probably
definitely,
will.
it definitely I mean, this is episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
Right.
Wolves of
great
Glendale,
call.
the podcast, episode 2, Attack, of the
Clones.
Clones,
Very
Warp Snore.
very sci-fi.
Attack of the Clones warp snore. Correct. That
Great
was crazy.
Yeah, and I would be so scared as well. He said he was shaking like a tree. I wouldn't know what to do either.
Mm-hmm.
Do you turn? Do you play chicken with this weird thing?
Yeah, I mean, also think about we've been in that situation where we're driving at like 2 a.m. and the other 2 people are asleep or one person's barely awake, and then it's like, you don't know. Imagine you're in like driving in the desert first of all, or that drive. Did you say San Francisco to LA?
Yeah, I
It's
think
He
just
said it
a
was in
lo-
California.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of just like open nothingness.
Right.
To see lights pop up, you're the only car on the road. That's a nightmare.
That would freak me
scenario.
out.
No,
Freak me out.
no. This is basically describing the movie Signs.
Yeah. which gave me nightmares, dude. I watched that movie in 7th grade before we went out to dinner at Chili's, and it was dusk. And I have a picture in my mind finishing that movie. Sun's going down. I stand at my back door. We had woods behind our house. I'm looking out the back door into the woods, and I swear to God, I thought I saw something move out there that looked like an alien.
That's
Whoa.
crazy.
Were you able to get past it and eat, or did you just?
Yeah, I got past it. I went and got a chicken crispers basket.
Yep.
But then I had nightmare. What else
my
do you
man.
get at Chili's?
That's my
Well, you
man.
do get the spicy chicken sandwich, but
Or
You
the
could if
fajitas.
you fucked up.
The
You would
fajitas are
get
pretty
that.
oh, I
solid.
don't know.
If you were a
I
big
don't know.
dumbass,
Spicy
you'd
chicken
get something
sandwich
other
is
than.
definitely the winner.
Chili's.
Well, we can
fajitas
talk about it.
are really
No.
good.
You know what I actually have heard is that Chili's is on the up.
Yeah, people are going to Chili's again.
Are
Stock
they
is rising.
renovating or something, or
No.
people just like it again?
I heard that people like it again, and that it's actually getting better.
That's good.
I'm so glad people like it again.
This is very like corporate sort of food kind
Yeah,
of thing.
Applebee's.
TGI Fridays, Applebee's,
Olive Garden.
Chili's, Red. I would classify Robin as like fast food. No,
I feel like that's like a Ruby Tuesdays adjacent thing.
okay. Ruby Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm.
That
Squawkzilla.
Squawkzilla.
I love the squawk, dude.
Of course, I love a big squawk
the squawk
shake
basket.
Yeah.
with the fried clam squawk basket.
Right.
It's so
is
good.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
It's
squawk
unmatched.
basket is unbeatable.
I'll-
I'll have
Steak and
that.
shake.
I'll have
Steak
that
and shake.
clam squawk juice with a straw.
Right,
Right.
right. That's really good.
Yeah.
But
But now it's elevated.
So now you're
Right.
saying it's a step above.
Yeah.
It's a
Now,
sub
apparently,
above.
well,
Chili's
because
is a sub above, is what you're saying.
Chili's is a sub above.
Yeah.
That's cool.
When you're there,
Better
your family.
ingredients, better restaurant.
Better
Chili's.
chicken.
Chili's.
Chili's.
Better chicken.
Squawkzilla.
Better ingredients,
Yeah.
mostly the chicken. Chili's.
All of those restaurants had the same decor too. It was just like a bunch of random shit on the walls, like a big fish,
Yeah.
a trophy,
Whatever they
Yeah.
could
a
find.
bowling
Anything.
photo,
Yeah.
like skis for some
Yeah.
reason. What is that?
It's like they went to a garage sale and just bought as
And
much
they
as
said,
they could.
yeah, all of
It's
it.
like
Yeah, I'll take it.
it's like they
It's
went
Chili's.
to a garage sale and then put a bunch of dynamite in the middle and a bunch of super glue on the walls. And
Right.
then went boom, and it was
It's the easiest way to
stuck.
decorate.
right.
Right. Yeah. Dynamite and glue.
Yeah, it's called like decor fucking blast zone.
Decor Blast Zone. Chili's.
Would you eat at a restaurant called Decor Blast Zone?
I sure would if I was 10.
Yeah.
I would love to go to a blast zone. Everything was the zone when you were a kid.
Yeah,
The
Discovery Zone. I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
Discovery
the
Oh
Zone.
zone.
my god, the zone
Yeah.
of interest.
Well, what
Zone of
other
interest
zones?
when your little rules.
Right. Zone of Interest was my favorite movie when I was 10 and it wasn't
Yeah.
out yet.
Yeah, for sure.
What other zones were there?
Burger Zone.
Burger zone,
Burger Zone, Taco Zone.
taco
Taco Zone.
zone. That's a real one. Auto
Auto
zone.
Zone.
Auto
I used to
Zone.
hang out as an auto zone when I was a kid.
When I was a
Get
kid,
in the zone,
dude,
man.
almost every
Yeah.
birthday party was at Auto Zone.
Everything
My bar
was the
mitzvah.
zone.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Blockbuster. No. There was a place.
Blockbuster Golf and Zone.
There was a place by us called Blockbuster Golf and Games, which was great.
It was the
The
best.
zone wasn't in the
Was
title.
it a
but
Blockbuster?
No,
It was owned by Blockbuster.
correct.
Same branding?
Blockbuster was so big.
Yes.
Whoa.
For all you young kids who I'm sure are watching right
Are
now.
you tiny?
All you Gen
fucking
A
rats.
skibbity toilet kids watching right now.
dumbass.
There was a video rental store called Blockbuster, and they were so massive. They were the Netflix of fucking video. They had their own theme park in South Florida called Blockbuster Golf and Games.
Yeah, a theme park is a little expensive.
I
but
mean, it was pretty sick.
it was super sick. I'm just saying it wasn't like they had roller coasters.
There
you
were
pay
bumper boats.
They had miniature golf.
Did you
Miniature
pay
golf.
admission to get in?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was a Blockbuster theme park?
Basically.
Yes.
It's like a Boomers or like a what else? It's,
It's
like a
a
mini.
low
I don't know
rent-
what to
it's
call
like a
that.
Discovery Zone, but better.
Can
A
I look
Game
this up?
Works.
No.
This is sort of like a proto Game Works.
Also, our
Blockbuster
first
Golf and Games?
Yeah, or like a
Yeah,
Dave
Bos-
and Buster's.
Dave and Buster's is a good
But
comparison.
I would say bigger than Dave and Buster's because they had
Dave
bumper
and Buster's
boats.
has a bigger arcade. The arcade was fairly small at Blockbuster Golf, but
Right.
then you go outside and you have all
mini
this.
golf, all this cool
Was
shit.
this
this
in
cool shit.
Sunrise, Florida?
It
Yeah,
was
that's right.
near the Sawgrass Mills Mall.
Closed in 2000.
Eric
oh
and
my
I
God,
are from
dude.
South Florida.
With the Blockbuster logo, Blockbuster Golf and Games.
Yes.
yeah, what do you think? We're fucking lying to you?
I think it sounds like
What do you
a
think?
lie.
I'm making shit up for the podcast?
Yeah, kinda. This looks sick as fuck.
I would never.
What are you, dense?
What are you, thick?
I need to go to the dentist.
You need to go to the dentist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have a cavity or two.
Nice.
I'm overdue.
Also, our first band call in. Delta
You're right.
Ray.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Can we get back to Delta
That's
Ray for a
cool.
second?
We love
Delta Ray
Delta
rules.
rules.
Yeah,
Mike,
Delta
thanks,
Ray rules. And
Thanks for calling, dude.
I mean, I don't want to minimize the other people that have called, but they're sort of by comparison pieces of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not in Delta Ray or a band above their stature, then you're kind of a piece of shit. I don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to,
I don't want to talk
That's
out of
not what I'm
school.
saying.
I don't want to talk out of turn.
I know, and we're
the
not
guy
saying
that flew to New York
Right.
to follow a girl in the first episode. Remember that story?
I sure do. And he
Yeah.
shit his pants.
He did.
Yeah, and I already blocked that out because he's not in Delta Ray.
Right.
Right, exactly.
And I don't care.
I love Delta Ray. Next voicemail.
Next voicemail.
Love you guys too. My name's Peter. I'm in Tucson.
Love
I
you,
was
Peter.
16 years old, mid-90s. I was working at Burger King,
Here we
and
go.
this guy was acting kind of funny in the drive-thru. I could see him back. He was talking weird on the machine. I was working the drive-thru,
Very scared.
I wasn't the greatest at my job. We the shake machine. I would put chocolate in my mouth and take vanilla. I'd throw shit in the fryer, and
Yeah, Peter.
I did all kinds of crazy stuff. I wasn't the greatest kid.
Agent of
I would
Chaos.
see what would float in the fryer. Did all those fun games. But anyways, getting back to the subject here.
Did he say, I'm going to see what would float in the fryer?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was in the drive-thru with this guy, kind of shaved head, maybe, I was young, so I was thinking maybe mid-30s. Probably now looking back, he's probably in his 40s. He pulls up to me, gets out of his car, and I say, "Sir, you got to get back in your car." And I go, "What are you doing, sir?" And he goes, "You never know what people are packing around here." And he had his hands in his pants, and he was fucking jerking off in his shorts. He jumped out of his car to show me that he was jerking off, and he goes, "You never know what people are packing around here," and then laughed, got back in his car, and drove off. And I'm pretty sure it didn't do much to the rest of my life. But now I look back and I said, I saw this on Facebook, and I said, I got to tell somebody about the story.
Nice.
So anyways, there you guys go. Keep fucking doing your thing. I love the studio. It's
Thank you.
awesome. Take care. Bye.
Thank
Wow.
you, Peter.
Thank you, Peter. Peter from Tucson.
Peter, you
I'm
rock.
so sorry that happened to you, man.
Me
Straight
too.
up.
Yeah. As a 16-year-old to see that's pretty hardcore, man.
That's terrible. And I really appreciated how I figured he was setting up the backstory, the context of him at 16 years old being a fuck up.
Right,
I
or
thought
like,
that was
yeah.
going to pay off because he's like, I'm doing this, I'm throwing this.
Most of the story was him telling us like how what crazy shit he would do at McDonald's.
It
At
took
Burger
a hard
King.
left.
Burger King.
Yeah.
Which is,
But I
didn't-
love that.
yeah.
I love that we just
I
now
love
have
it too.
this information about
Right.
Peter
It
working
was
at Burger King.
it was 90% like I was crazy. I was seeing what would flow in the fryer. Was dating this girl. I don't know. Like I had a car. I lived with my mom. It was fun. And also this guy jacked off in front of me.
This guy
Like,
leapt out of
whoa.
his car and said, "You know what people are packing," and started cranking it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
That was a left
crazy.
turn for
That's-
sure.
Yeah.
I wonder if he gave context of how shitty he was at his job because it's like a karmic repercussion thing where he's like, I used to fuck around so much that one day a guy jacked off in front of me.
Which is so messed up because it's like that. I don't think that's a 1-to-1.
No,
No.
he's a
Where it's
16-year-old kid.
he's
No
a-
one should ever
you're
see
a
anything like
snot-nosed
that.
little punk.
I think it's
Yeah.
more just painting the picture. It's just world building. You
Yeah.
know, he's just telling us like this is what was going on in my life.
Right.
Sure.
I thought I had a very safe, sheltered life. I didn't experience anything crazy. I was like working at Burger King. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, this guy jacks out in front of me. Now I'm different.
No.
Things have
His
changed.
life is before J.O., after J.O.
Right.
Yeah. BKJO.
Yeah.
Post JO.
Yeah.
BJO, AJO.
I'm glad that we serve as an outlet for
Totally.
people
Yes.
to. That's what I got towards the end of his thing, where he was like, I finally have a reason to.
Saw this on Facebook. I had to call and tell this story.
Right.
my
like,
God.
that's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Oh, and that
we lost
sound,
the camera.
Well, again,
That sound, of course, means that we're out of time. It's kind of a good
did
way
we
to
do
know.
30 minutes?
actually is
that
cool.
30 minutes?
I think
It's
40.
over 30.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it's just about 30 minutes. Little over.
So I think there's a timer on that. That's 30
I'll
minutes.
fix that on that because that camera's mine.
Yeah,
But
and-
now we know if the camera dies, it's time to wrap it up.
It's
So
time to
maybe
wrap
this
it up.
one was jailbroken into.
This
Yeah,
one
I always
is
jailbreak my cameras.
Right. That's
right.
good.
Yeah, Ethan
I
notoriously
jailbreak everything.
jailbreaks
Out
his
of jail.
cameras. Right, and you will break out of jail as the Blood King in the limited series.
Yeah, I don't want to give it away. I don't
Right,
want to
right.
give it
No,
away.
no spoilers for
No
Blood
spoilers.
King. You know, I am directing.
But yeah, I really, this was a great, wonderful episode of Wolves of Glendale, the podcast, episode 2. Rise of the
Blood King.
Rise of the
Attack of the
Attack of the
Clones.
Clones, aka Rise of the Blood King.
Also, Warped Snore.
Warp Snore.
Warp Snore.
A huge thank you to our musical guest Delta Ray.
Yep.
And
Huge thank you for not calling in about your shit.
Yeah, we
this
had no
episode.
shit stories.
Yeah, that
No
was really
poop
good.
stories. That's actually a huge victory for us.
Gigantic.
2 episodes in, that's a huge W for your boys.
Yeah, and just click right here for the opportunity to buy our new brass knuckles with the word King on them to
Right.
help support the funding of Real Detective Rise of the Blood King.
Season 4.
See ya.
Bye.
See you later.
Love you.